Hey YouTube, it's Unrealfluff, and today I'm going to be helping you all put some flow bindings onto your snowboard here. So, when you first get your bindings, this is what they're going to look like. Maybe not these exact ones, but they're going to have the straps already positioned in some way over the back. And when I first got these, it took me a little while to get them undone because this was my first drop back binding, so I never had one that had, that opened up on both sides. But, you can't get the back out without taking off the cover here. So what you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to flip the black latches, whatever, and those will just slide right off. On these, you're just going to want to pull up until you hear a click and press forward, and you're going to just want to pull it out like a normal binding. Just set that aside. And now, the back, it stands. Yeah! So this is a left binding. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the right. Unlatch the black ones. And just slide them on through. This is kind of hard to do one-handed. That one's giving me some trouble. One second. There we go. Okay, so I got it off. This is the right binding. Back here. Okay, and there it is. So, it's the right. Seriously, just fall out? Okay. I guess you should probably be careful because these can literally just fall out, and I did not know that, but it just happened. But this is my right binding, and this is my left. I'm goofy, so my right is in front, my left foot is in the back. And you're gonna, when you get your bindings, they're gonna come with one of these. It's very important, don't lose it. I don't really think that you will be able to lose this very easily because it's wrapped up in, it's a big piece of plastic. You wouldn't just throw it out, hopefully. But since I have a 2x6, well, looking down on it, you just have to match it up with the holes. Okay, and right there, I can do it. So there's a hole there, and a hole there, and a hole there, and a hole there. And I could line it up like that. But I thought that the holes looked more promising sideways like this. Now personally, I think that, well, personally, my bindings are at 15 on my front and backwards 15 on my left. So you just line it up with the little arrow here. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do the same thing that we did earlier. Just line them up, but with the binding on. it's gonna come with 8 screws, 4 for each binding. And you're gonna need a screwdriver. Phillips, not flat. And all you're gonna want to do is put 1 screw in 2 of the holes. You probably want to have them diagonal from each other. And then you're going to want to...
Mom, I'm doing a YouTube video.
Shh! Okay. Sorry about that. Hey. My GoPro's charging right now because I don't know if I have enough battery life to do this, so I just put it on the charger and started filming. Now, when you do this, it's very important to know that you are getting in the hole and that you don't do it too hard. Now, like, if you go straight through the bottom, I mean, you should probably know, because, you know, you'll feel it on the bottom. And, you know, you'll feel basically a point. And you're just going to want to do that for both sides. And it might be a little tough at the beginning, but you want to make sure that you get it, you know, pretty hard. Pretty hard in there. And just make sure that you didn't, you know, pop a hole. See? It's pretty tight. And this one is pretty tight. Maybe a little more. And so then you can just do it for the other side. And they should just be right lined up because of the other two. I checked the binding just because or the bottom, because I'm kind of paranoid. Okay, now I'm sure you all don't want to see me do this another time, so what I'm gonna do is I am going to just do this. That's kind of weird. Okay, well, I'm only going to do it for 1 binding, and then after, you know, after I finish the video, I will, you know, put the other one on without y'all watching. So the next step would be to put the cover thing, I don't even know what it's called, this part on. Now, when you're doing, well, when I put mine on the first time, I accidentally had it like this, which doesn't make any sense at all, if you can see that. But you're going to want the black parts towards the center of your board, and you're going to want the latches to be on the outside, you know, if that, yeah. And then you're going to want the wider part to be on the top, and the less wide on the bottom. I have flight 2s, if you all were wondering. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to just barely, you're going to want to barely put the binding strap into the little hole that they have for you on each one of them. See, just barely in, and then close it down. Same thing for these. You're just gonna wanna just barely get in, and to make these not stick up like that, you pull them up to where this part is on the top, then you just press them down. And then same thing for the top here. And then, you know, your cover's on. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to just press this back. It snaps on, you know. Just press it, give some force. You'll hear it snap, and then you can bring it down. And then you're going to want to get your boot, which I do not have with me at the moment. So I will be right back, and you all get to stare at my beautiful ceiling. So, got my boot here. And you can do this with your foot in your boot, or you don't have to. So, you just take your boot and stick it in as far as you can. That's what she said. And you're going to want to make sure that the back will close. If I can actually get... Okay. The back will close and snap it shut. You know. So here's your boot. And then just what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to ratchet down. Oops. You know, as much as you can. And these ones are a little harder. You're just going to want to pull them down as far as they'll go. Which, I did a pretty good job with those. And that is how you mount and size your flow bindings.